The distorted forms of the trees distinguish this unique landscape. The forests are filled with magic, ready to bewitch the unwary, who inevitably fall prey to their charms. A muse that has inspired poets and painters, symbolizing deeply genuine and Portuguese attributes. It's here, in the timeless riches of the cork oak plantations, that everything began. Venerated in ancient Greece as a sign of honor and freedom, the cork oak, or Quercus suber, is an amazing tree, graced with longevity and a unique capacity of regeneration. Leafy and majestic, this species can grow to over 25 meters in height and on average lives between 150 and 200 years. It has always served mankind via the removal, at regular intervals, of its greatest treasure. A self-renewing gift from nature that crosses several generations, the jewel in the crown of Portugal's natural resources, cork. A noble, harmoniously balanced forest, cork oak plantations only exist in the western Mediterranean area, in particular the southern regions of the Iberian Peninsula that have an Atlantic influence, finding their ideal cradle from time immemorial in Portugal. Our country is proud to house the largest extension of cork trees in the world. With a total area of 736,000 hectares, representing 23.5% of the country's forestry area, it is the most representative species in Portugal. The largest plantations are located in the south, in particular in the provinces of the Alentejo, but we also find cork trees throughout Portuguese territory, from the Minho to the Algarve. According to a wise popular saying, if you care for your grandchildren, plant a cork tree. A testimony from the past with a message for the future. The cork oak plantation is the perfect example of a balanced relationship between man and nature. First and foremost, these plantations are one of the greatest allies in combating desertification in southern Portugal, helping reduce soil erosion and guaranteeing the subsistence of the local population. In addition to producing oxygen, a characteristic shared by all trees, the cork tree has a very specific and unique cellular structure, which enables it to retain carbon dioxide, that is the main contributor to global warming. As a pivotal pillar of the climate, the cork forest also constitutes one of the richest ecosystems in the Iberian Peninsula, providing shelter to a wide range of flora and fauna that is vital to preserve. Portugal has played a pioneering role in raising awareness about environmental issues, from biodiversity to ecological sustainability, associated with the production and transformation of cork. Viewed as an aspect of national heritage, cork oak plantations have benefited from legal protection throughout the centuries, including a ban on cork tree felling and incentives for plantation and operations. In this regard, our country has played a pioneering role. We were the first country to enact legal provisions, setting a 9-year interval as the minimum time period for extracting cork. In this magical hour when spring rain mixes with the early summer heat, man draws close to his faithful friend and strips it of its greatest wealth. Cork's life cycle as a raw material starts here. The removal of the precious bark from the cork tree, so-called bark stripping, takes place during the most active period of the cork tree's growth, between mid-May or early June and late August. Separation of the cork bark from the inner bark is achieved by tearing the membranes of recently formed cork cells. In order for this to be achieved, it is necessary for the tree to be at the peak of its activity. Few people know that it takes 25 years before a cork tree begins to produce cork bark, and at least a further 25 years before it delivers the level of quality required for manufacturing natural cork stoppers. Each tree trunk must have a minimum circumference of 70 centimeters, measured at a height of 1.3 meters from the ground. From this point onwards, the cork tree will provide high-quality cork at 9-year intervals over around 150 years. In other words, cork will be removed 15 to 16 times over the tree's lifetime. After removing the bark from the trees, the cork planks are carefully piled on top of each other, either in the forest or in the factory yards, where they remain to stabilize for a period of at least 6 months. This is a painstaking process, whereby a unique series of rigorous standards need to be observed, defined by the International Code of Cork Stopper Manufacturing Practices. The cork stabilizes during this resting period. After complying with all the necessary requirements during the drying stage, these giant 3D jigsaw puzzles are ready for processing. Cork tree's treasure is now exposed in its full splendor, with all its unique and incomparable properties that until today no man-made device has been able to equal. Cork has all these values, and above all is a 100% natural, recyclable and reusable product. These essential attributes make all the difference in a society that aims to reduce pollution and become more environmentally friendly. Portugal is the market leader in all steps of the value chain. The country produces an average of 185,000 tons of cork per year. This amount corresponds to 54% of world production. It is the vital material that supplies an essential industry for the national economy. The cork industry provides 15,000 jobs and generates exports of around 900 million euros per year, representing 33% of all forestry product exports. 90% of the cork produced is destined for the export market. 60% of transactions globally originate in Portugal, rising to 86% if we also consider manufactured cork products. These statistics make Portugal the world leader in cork production, the world leader in cork manufacturing, and the world leader in cork product exports. An outward-looking sector, the majority of the cork industry is comprised of micro and small-scale companies and encompasses around 1,000 manufacturing units. Cork businesses are distributed across 12 districts, but the largest industry concentration is in both Aveiro, municipality of the Santa Maria de Feira, and Setúbal. There is also a trend towards opening cork factories closer to the raw material, demonstrating that spatial integration of the entire value chain is key in the future. Under the motto of innovation at the service of quality, the cork industry accompanies the pace for demand, rigor, and modernization. These are the maxims that govern our visionary industry. An industry that has made a growing and consistent commitment to innovation in order to foster the excellence of its products. With a firm interest in research and development, investing in more automated technologies, offering better performance and safety, renewing its manufacturing processes and dedicated to training employees, strengthening its brand image in international markets. In short, producing more with greater variety and even higher quality. A noble and natural product, a mark of authenticity, excellence, sophistication. The cork stopper continues today, as ever, as the only closure that is compatible with the rigorous demands of the contemporary winemaking industry. Around 25% of all cork production is dedicated to producing cork stoppers, which represent 70% of the industry's turnover and over 60% of all exports. Cork is an omnipresent element in our daily experiences. It forms part of our daily lives, wherever we are and wherever we turn, from airport runways to viaducts, bridges and motorways. from dams, reservoirs and swimming pools, to the comfort of our own homes. The universe of Cork is a legacy from the past that rises as a vital force in the present, looking towards the future. Cork now has an almost infinite range of applications. Together with more traditional uses, the sector has moved towards more fashionable areas, brazenly positioning itself at the cutting edge of design. Now, in the 21st century, Cork is once again generating the widespread admiration and respect that it formerly received from the Greeks and Romans in antiquity, reinventing this fruit of the earth under the motto of the future's tradition, transforming the rustic court tree into a mark of delicacy, aesthetics and comfort. Timeless, Cork serves mankind at any time and at any moment, generously, just as the tree from which it derives.